So I know Davey he does his video log thing. He does his blog posts on Blizzard, and well, I just wanted to communicate with all of you guys, with the audience out there that play the game. Some of the things going through my head recently. We've had a lot of progress on the Heart of the Swarm beta, and I have done a couple interviews recently. I've done a few interviews. I did one with Husky, had one done with Team Liquid a little while back, and who knows, there may be more. But I don't know, recently we went through a couple beta changes that really made a big difference in how the game was played out. Structured metagame. We were seeing things that we didn't really have the opportunity to see prior to this, and I just wanted to connect my thoughts here and put them out here in a video format for you guys to see. Right? All right. So I'm gonna go through the patch changes and see exactly what's been changed here. All right. There were a number of changes to how the Terran race played out. So the first one, Reapers no longer require a tech lab. Now, this is obviously in tandem with a couple of other changes, right? But what we saw in competitive play is that the Reaper was never used. It saw a resurgence. I don't know, Boxer is one of those players that I really like. I always he's one of my favorite players. Him in MMA, it's just they do fun stuff, man, fun stuff. All right, so the Reaper was it wasn't seen a lot in competitive play, and we wanted to make it viable and have opportunity for all of these different players to really use this at every time throughout the game. So could be 5 minutes, it could be 5 hours. Who knows? So how do you do that? Right? We figured out that if you take the tech lab requirement away from a Reaper and even make it able to be produced via a reactor, right, that you could build two at the same time. Now this is groundbreaking, right? I mean, there are some changes that we just put into testing, and it's just, you feel so confident about it, but this really changes the entire structure of every TVX matchup. So, well, how does it do that? You can now make Reapers two at a time. All right, so you used to be able to make one, and it used to require a tech lab. So you had one Reaper. Now you can make two in the time that it took to make one. Now, they still cost 50 gas, and because we didn't want it to be all that imbalanced, we decided should probably nerf the ever-living crap out of it, right? So we took the damage down a bit. We removed the cliff sight ability, right? That was no, that wasn't a problem. We just figured that with two Reapers coming out at the same time, maybe it would be a little bit over. I don't know. Davey got into that a little bit in his blog post. I won't go over that, but yeah, I mean, now we're just seeing Reapers, so many Reapers, 40 Reapers, 50 Reapers in the late game too. I mean, it doesn't matter that they have such low health pools, because you can make them two at a time now, and they only cost 50 gas, right? All right. So the Hellbat, we felt that something else was needed to protect the Terran from Protoss weapons in the late game. And in order to do this, we needed a unit that could tank damage and that could deal damage to the specific class of units, so light units, right? I mean, Zealots, you just warp them in everywhere, no matter what time it is in game, and it can get really out of hand, right? So we decided to buff it. A little bit, we think it's going to be good going into going forward, going into the late game. What we don't want to do, we don't want to change warp gate because we've taken a look at this before. We found that it was a really good useful mechanic. We don't want to change warp gate. So the Caduceus reactor, we saw it was a little bit too good. All right, we felt that Terran really had the ability to fight against the fungal growth spell, and while we don't really want to ever see fungal growth used in competitive games, we still don't want Terran to be able to deal with it with medevacs. All right, so we took that upgrade down a little bit. What we also reduced the gas cost by 50 because, hey, we're, right, we're nerfing it a little bit, all right. And the emergency thrusters ability, we got a lot of feedback on this. Well, not that much, but we thought it would be a good change. And right. Seeker missile. All right, so Seeker missile. We finally realized that it may have been a little silly to put all of the requirements needed to actually use Seeker missile, especially the pretty high energy cost, right? I mean, there are no other spells that require that much energy, but we felt Seeker, because it was so bad, we felt a need to stop people from thinking about using it. So we made a really high energy cost. So what do we do? What do we do with this? All right, we made it a little bit better. We took the damage down a little bit though. Damage down a little bit. Splash damage down a little bit, but we reduced the energy cost to 75. Now, for this, we're really hoping to see a lot of use because it's not actually. Initially, we thought Terran, they like Yamato cannon, so why don't we make another Yamato cannon, right? It's foolproof logic, really. Use it all the time, right? But we changed a little bit. We don't know how receptive Terrans are going to be to this. I don't know. Personally, I'm a big fan of Yamato cannons. This is a little bit of a hit right here. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right. And siege tank. So meching in TVP. Now, a lot of Terrans have kind of suggested that it would be nice to see some additional viability from other strategies in this matchup aside from your Marine Marauder, Ghost, Medevac, Viking Ball, yeah, right? So we've decided that after a lot of thought, we would try and fix. We would try and make Heart of the Swarm the expansion that mech gains viability in TVP matchup, which is good, right? So because of this, after it's been, I don't know, it's been about 4 months now. We finally 4 months, 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. I don't know. Time flies, man. Time flies. All right, so 2 months. But we finally, because of this, we finally come to the conclusion that the problem with TVP, the problem that mech would not work in TVP, was because of siege mode. Right? So because of this, we've decided to eliminate siege mode from the game, right? You don't even need to research it anymore as a Terran. Now there are going to be a lot of people out there that are very, very happy from this change. I don't feel that it's going to break the game. I feel that it's a necessary change. Now you may look at other things in the matchup and say, well, mech can't really do this, or this is pretty good against mech. Immortals are one of those things. Late game warp-ins are one of those things. Protoss harassment is one of those things. Blink harassment. You have the new Tempests, pretty good. Yeah, but it's siege mode. All right. Now the Protoss changes. The Protoss changes. We've gotten some feedback that the Oracle may be slightly overpowered. Maybe just slightly too good, right? We don't think that that's the case quite yet. We don't quite have the data to back that up, but we've decided to take a little of initiative in the beta. It's a beta after all, right? You need to test these things out somewhere, and we've decided to take the time warp ability from the Oracle and move it to the mothership, and then take the envision ability from the mothership core and move it over to the Oracle. Now, this gives Protoss a couple more options, but it also takes away a lot of options. So this is how we're going to balance it. Think about it this way, all right? The Protoss now has to deal with the choice when they get an Oracle on the field, whether to use it to detect a unit without a robotics facility or kill 30 workers. All right? Now I'm sitting back there. I'm sitting back there and I'm playing this game. I'm playing Protoss. I don't know. I don't know what I would choose. So we feel that this is going to be... This is taking a step in the right direction, right? Alright. So, the Infestor, finally, it's been a year, and we've been monitoring things for a year. We don't like to make these hasty changes, like we did with the Queen patch. Now we want to wait as long as possible to really get the data we need to make changes, to make educated changes, right? So we feel that the Infestor as a unit is just a little bit too strong still. We've done a couple nerfs. Fungal is now a projectile. Infested Terrans no longer have upgrades on them, but we felt the need to go a little bit more. So we decided to decrease the damage that fungal growth does to 40 damage to armored to 30. Now, initially you may think like, oh, this doesn't change all that much, but the 10 damage, it's a lot. Stalker's actually now taken an extra hit to die from fungal growth, and yeah. And this last change here, this is something that I've been lobbying for a long time, right? So, a little while back, we introduced increased muta regeneration into Heart of the Swarm. We felt that this would... we don't want Infestors to be used ever, right? We don't want Infestors to be used ever. But we need to give Zergs another option, right? So this option is going to be Mutalisks. We introduced the Swarm Host, but we don't really... I don't know. Mutalisks are where the metagame will go now. You want some layer tech to keep you going until you get your hive, till you get all of your upgrades that you need, that Ultralisk Cavern, alright? And that's going to be the mutas now. So, with this change, we needed something to liven it up a little bit. A little bit more than the buff itself. So, we've decided that the Mutalisk regeneration ability would be changed to the muta tissue regeneration. Alright? And the tooltip has actually been updated in order to improve how the users of the game, the players, right? You guys, can read it and feel about it, right? Alright, so I wanted to leave you now. Oh crap. Well, it seems It seems I have not taken adequate foresight in creating an additional scene for this, but let me go ahead and add one in. I don't know if I can edit a scene. Let's see. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Now, I have a Twitter now, right? I need to... crap. Alright, so now I have a Twitter now, and I really wanted to show you guys something. So, whenever I get down, whenever I'm having an off day, just go ahead and Google image search rocks, and they're, I mean, you can look at them. I'm just so happy when I can just sit down and look at rock. I mean, look at these cute rocks there. There's a tiger rock. Some more rocks there. So I wanted to show you guys something. Now, when I first started balancing video games, it just, the rocks kind of get me right here, man. They get me right here. And someone was kind enough on Twitter to introduce me to this new map in the StarCraft 2 pro scene. There's been nothing like this in StarCraft 2 yet, and it makes me so happy. I'm just... Oh no. Oh yes. Oh yes. So this is the Brood War version, right? No, we're gonna do this destructible rock style. Let's see. Oh, another Brood War version. Alright. Don't know why I'm using Yahoo. It's confusing to me. Okay, so, yeah. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So you guys may remember this map in Brood War, but now it has even more rocks. I wouldn't have thought it possible, but lo and behold, those awe-inspiring map makers over at Kespa have created something of such ethereal beauty as to replicate Arkanoid. So I just thought I would leave you guys on a happy note, and yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Right.